And my little timer video has ended because it was 60 minutes and I didn't restart it. I just did 2 videos on the 60. So just need to make sure that we encounter Azidaka and then get out of here.
That wasn't much fun.
That's right, I was throwing my Tonberry head right over the camera.
I suppose now is the time for all good men to come to the aid of their country, and for Brother to equip the lure bangle. Tracer, whatever.
Time to clean up! Right behind you!
We can encounter Azidaka before we level up again.
Ooh, your flare was really devastating, giant monkey creature. You're a master of magic.
I don't think that was really worth fighting. Did not get very much experience at all for defeating the Phantom. Like a pretty crappy comic book characters. Not really that over with the kids today. I thought the game had locked up there for a second. I was really worried. Gonna lose all the progress. Oh, great, Marlboro. You truly are great. Come on, Azidaka. Adamant Tortoise. That is an enemy against whom I might be using, I might be fighting against that enemy. It's the ultimate stress spheres to know that I can throw out a lot of punishment and not actually defeat it. If I do manage to level up
You're
against
going
this,
down!
That's the spirit.
Except that we're gonna run away.
I'm gonna get this timer started just that if I know I get really close to 30 minutes and I'm still trying to encounter this damn thing, I'm gonna have to split after the fact again. Thought I was at level 70. Thought I should be able to encounter it now. The fact said, it's got a really low encounter rate apparently. Still can't forget about the damn garment grids that you're supposed to get from the Chocobo Ranch either. All the things that, but to get a full clear of this game, you gotta do so much shit. If I do my second run through, I was thinking about doing it real quick, but in theory, I'm supposed to promote Argent Ink.
Piece of cake!
Yeah, it's really not happening with this whole Azidaka showing up.
Hi there!
These guys are not a bad sight because if I fight them about 20 times, Una will level up, but I really just need Azidaka to show up. This guy does less experience, I think, and takes a lot longer for its death animation to resolve itself. Oh, it actually does more. More experience. It does more. It drops more experience. You get more experience.
Bring it, punk.
I thought at one point that if I had a long play session today, I might actually finish the bosses. But that's not gonna happen. After this, I gotta go walkies, and then I think I'll take a hot bath before bed. Telling you all sorts of exciting stuff you want to hear, I know, but
No problem.
it's an L-bomb from Elrod. I'm pretty sure I'm at level 70, which is where you're supposed to be able to encounter that thing. 70 to 74. I haven't really found there to be a whole lot of correlation between I'm standing at different places in the level and different enemies are showing up. I think Azidahaka is just a pretty rare encounter. It's like War Mech, only it doesn't use nuclear. Good news, I only got to encounter it once, and then we're done. I know exactly where to go to encounter this other enemy. There's not going to be any...
Ha! Great!
Oversoul fever and somebody's already oversold. Yeah!
It always takes them PlayStation a minute to figure out where to go from there. How do you get ambushed by a turtle? They're not really known for their like ninja-like speed and stealth. Stealth, perhaps. Seriously, this needs to be over now. I got to the level I needed to get to. I hadn't encountered it, but all I needed to do was encounter it once, so I kept the video going, and now... Oh, right on the camera. There doesn't appear to be a hole for her to stick her head in.
It's 3 L bombs from 3 L rods.
Maybe Yuna will level up to 99 before we encounter this thing.
Piece of cake.
I mean, I could leave it. I know we'll have the chance to encounter them in the end game. But at this point, like, it's the very last thing I've got to deal with on this list. Every time I hear like a big throaty roar from Adaman Tortoise, I think maybe that's it. So this enemy in particular is just annoying. It does status attacks on you, but it doesn't do very much damage, and it doesn't have that many hit points for its stage of the game that it seems to want to pop up. And it's down here with like Adaman Tortoises and Great Marlboros. These are heavy-hitting enemies now. And then there's these guys. Ooh, we drained Yuna for 2 hit points. Well, I'm starting to see why we didn't encounter it on the way down. The encounter rate appears to be 1 in 100. A lot of enemies down here. Am I just in the wrong level? Or am I still at 69 and I thought I was at 70?
I got a good feeling about this one. Me too.
I think this would be a great pet.
This is just taking longer than it should. Look at them. Just run up to something, start whirling your arm around to hit it with your little toy alien, then it dies before you hit it, so you run up to something else. But it is weird, a game that does not feature any kind of like overdrive or limit break for the player characters has monsters that go into limit break. Guess we're turning this one into a split after the fact video. It's getting crazy here.
This is your lucky day.
Punk ass bitches. I mean,
Easy as pie.
easy as giant cat head.
Guys, this is getting ridiculous. I'm gonna start making my way towards exiting the level and going down one. And think that maybe I just screwed up and I'm actually on level 69. But I was pretty sure it was
Signed and
7.
sealed.
And I'll keep the lore bracer
Bring it,
on
punk.
though, and why the hell not, right?
Easy match.
Ha, great.
Too bad we can't just steal from these guys to instantly defeat them. Right on
That
the
wasn't much fun.
Having that thing on my head.
And Yuna, it appears, will level up before we encounter Ozzy Dahaka. So any additional combat I do in the game will be to learn skills for the ultimate dress spheres, or to get chocobos to come back from exploration and hopefully turn over another garment grid. Or possibly fighting enemies that drop items I need. Gold is no longer Gil, rather, is no longer meaningful. Yeah, Ozzy Dahaka not showing up.
Oh, he's still 2 MP that time. That's a pretty tough customer there, Phantom.
It's Phantom! This new video game is made by Phantom!
I'm gonna whack you good.
It's like I intentionally put on the lore bracer, I'm still getting pissed off by the effect. I guess once Yuna hits level 99, I'll take it off and just try to get down to the next level at the normal rate. So there you go. And we'll see what it is. And if it turns out to be 71, like I think it is, then I guess we go on level 71, find the tile that lets us exit, wait around, and put the lore bracer back on, and try to get the damn Abitaka to show up. The only saving grace in this is that when it finally does appear, it will be Oversoul automatically. You won't have to go through that nonsense. 70 to 74 seems awfully early considering it's an endgame boss, but there's no point fighting these guys anymore.
Hi there.
I don't know why. For some reason, I had this very brief flash of hope that this was going to be it. Ooh, look up Azidaka again in this fact. Maybe I wrote the number down wrong. It does seem like it would be deeper in the cloister than this. Nope. 70 to 74, or as a boss in the far plane. It's an optional boss. You're able to avoid fighting it. It has 146,200 hit points, so it is weaker than the super boss version of the weapons we're going to be fighting, but actually stronger than Ultima Weapon or Omega Weapon. Omega Weapon we hadn't actually fought, but it has fewer hit points than Ultima Weapon. I can't see the rest of its stats though. Yeah, but it should be 70 to 74, so again, just making sure I didn't get confused and I'm still only on level 69. But I don't think I am. And again, I don't think the Azidahakas that you fight are past the point of no return, so could always decide to just go on, finish the Via Infinito, and then, which I did find out later on is replayable, so the second of the two super bosses will no longer be down here. That one actually has a little bit of story. The first of them is apparently refightable. Just a little curious now. Oh, never mind. I'd have to change Yuna's equipment before I could compare her stats with the others, because her equipment is not identical to theirs. I don't want to go through that. Come on.
Great!
The counter rate is ridiculous. How does this guy even find out that they're down here? Is it written in some fucking strategy guide? Yeah, Cloister 71. See? So I was at a cloister where they should have been able to show up. So I guess I'll get down to 74 and then look for it. Because why the fuck not, huh? I don't want to hang around in this cloister anyway. This cloister makes me nervous. Anytime. Anytime. I've always said I'll see, any one of these guys could still be it. I mean, I'm bitching away, and now I'm just assuming that I'll get to 74 and go back to the lore bracer, but anytime it could finally just end. Maybe I'm being punished for running away so much. Azidaka only respects those who don't run. Maybe when I talk to those Tonberry and the little Tonberry over there, instead of giving me an X potion or something, they'll say, "Would you like to fight Azidaka? We can make that happen for you." What did it cost you? No, they gave me an X potion. How did I know it was going to be an X potion? I knew X potion was one of the ones they give you, but
Son of a bitch!
So we've already been all the way through. Well, maybe not. Maybe we fought an Ozzy to Haka and I just ran away from it. But we've already been all the way through from 70 to 70, down to 75 once without encountering it. So we're looking to do it again here. And there comes the point at which you just ask yourself, do I just want to go deal with it at the bottom of the far plane? Because you're not past the point of no return yet. And you can run away from it, because the whole point is if you go to a certain gate, you fight it, and if you defeat it, you go on, and if you don't, you have to find a way to solve the puzzle to bypass the gate. They've got this sort of musical puzzle set up that's optional. And I figured we would try to do the puzzle because you're probably supposed to, rather than just fighting the monsters. You can actually do the puzzle and then go fight the monster anyway. But there's more than one of them, if I recall right. There's a couple of Ozzy Dakas set up as guardians. I don't know that it makes sense because they're just in the far plane hanging out. It's not like the guardian beast that was placed there by Lady Unalesca to test the mettle of summoners or whatever their excuses were for the bosses hanging around at Xanarkand. I mean, that's something. I don't know if we're going the right way. Okay, never mind. So now we can turn this corner, and the camera continues to follow behind Yuna, and you're leaving. This isn't even useful progress. If I encounter the thing, I was going to use a Great Cloister to hop down to 80 anyway. So here's Cloister 74, and we can't go any deeper or we lose our wonderful opportunity to fight this thing, which is not showing up. So I guess we'll use the Lure Bracer and hope that we encounter it on our way to the teleporter to the surface, and then teleport to the surface and save, because I figured the lowest level is the one where you're most... thinking, oh, it's a tough enemy for this area, so maybe if there is any variation in the encounter rate, maybe it's higher on 74 than it is on 70, but I'm just starting to think it doesn't show up down here. The fact is just wrong. I'm gonna quick Google that. Does Ozzy Dahaka appear in Via Infinito? So somebody's game facts thread says return and Azudaka may appear there in close 7040. It will appear there if you have fought in the far planet, but it may or may not appear if you've completed the notes puzzle. Oh, basically they're saying, I don't know, it might not appear if you didn't, it's basically they're suggesting that, Great. Taco Bell's giving us a chance to win something thanks to this ad that you probably were able to hear. Somebody's answer says it's on 75 to 79, but you have to kill him at the far plane before he'll show up, which might make sense. I'm looking at different threads and doesn't appear in the video. Okay, I found a couple of different, you know, game message threads that suggest it doesn't appear in the VO Infinito unless you've already fought it in the far plane. So fuck. Alright, well, that's alright then. Just out of spite, we'll keep the lure bracer going until we get to... There's no point in that, it's silly. We've encountered every other enemy here like probably 10 times and we haven't fought it yet, so I'm thinking that's what it is. It just doesn't show up here unless you've already fought it in the Via Infinito. I mean the far plane. This is the Via Infinito. So, alright, that's fine. This has been a complete waste of time. I guess this whole video is a complete waste of time. And the stopping point for our quest to oversoul all enemies is going to be short of 2, because one of them we will have to face in the far plane, and one of them we will have to face at the bottom of Vio Infinito. Well, we already knew that we weren't actually going to be able to use the ultimate garment grid against these 2 super bosses, because we have to defeat one of them to gain it. So all this really changes the fact that we won't be able to use it in the end game either, where it would be overpowered and we wouldn't need it anyway. So we will earn the ultimate garment grid. It'll just be something we earn right before getting to the final boss of the game. So we can use it against the final boss of the game. But let's confirm that we did get everything except those 2. Looks like we got everything there, everything there, everything there, everything there, everything there, everything there. The 2 that are missing are the boss at the bottom of the Vio Infinito, one of 2 bosses, and a boss at the bottom of the far plane before you get to Shuyin. And Vegnagun and all that stuff. I'm not going to tell you what the final boss is, but you got Shuyin trying to use Vegnagun, so you got to imagine some combination of those 2 are going to be your, you know, near the end of the game. So, okay, that last video was basically a complete waste, but you did get to see Yuna fully leveled up. What else did we do? I think we have now confirmed that every dress sphere has been mastered, except the ultimate dress sphere for Yuna. The dress spheres for Riku are completely mastered. Riku has learned every technique she can in the game. And for Pain, everything is learned except for the ultimate dress spheres. So if I really feel like showing all my off-screen type stuff on screen, I will. And you know, you might find it interesting because it's the kind of thing I was doing off screen all the time, just so you can see what I was doing to level up dress spheres before this. But I might just go ahead and on screen take care of all the dress sphere maxing for the ultimate dress spheres, which are ultimate in name only. They kind of suck in actual use. And yeah, there you go. So I will split this after the fact because it did end up being double length, even though the second half was almost completely worthless. I might, like I said, go ahead and showcase me learning the ultimate dress sphere techniques, or I might not. I might just fall back on my normal pattern of doing that kind of thing over Rift Tracks. I do need to go check on those fucking chocobos, and I need to open up a chocobo pack and figure out what it is I can gain and what I've already gained, so I don't keep sending them out there and I've already got everything. But my voice is starting to bother me, so I'm going to stop. Not my voice, my throat, but my voice is probably starting to bother you, so I will stop. And when we come back next time, depending on how generous I'm being, you may end up having to watch me go from level 80 down to level 100 again. Probably won't make you watch that. You might have to watch me using ultimate dress spheres. The Riku one we're done with, but Yuna and her silly flower power and Pain and her weird sword thing. Or possibly next time, we will be, because everyone's at level 99, we've learned the dress spheres that we're actually going to use, and we're certainly not going to use the garment grids that I would get from the Chocobo Hunt game. That's just a completionist thing. Next time, we may rejoin the LP with the Gull Wings at level 100 of the Via Infinido, and ready to take on the 2 ultimate super bosses of this game. One of whom I think I'm just going to defeat with Bribe. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.